Hi, my name is Brittany Hack. I'm an educational technologist and ESL instructor for Link programming. I also specialize in written policy alternatives for technology and innovation. Before you continue watching this video, I encourage you to check out our group project called The Movable Feast, a mobile digital artifact about 5G networks. I've posted its link in the public YouTube video. The project will help to provide a concrete understanding about what I would like to discuss next. The topic is called Beyond 5G and the Classroom Environment. This entire discussion began with the collaborative project I was assigned to with my group peers during the research phase of the Movable Feast. It started with Wendy, who posted an important article from Bloomberg News in our UBC Mobile and Open Learning blog about 6G technology. Lindsay, shortly after, posted an interesting comment debating if this technology arms race would lead to the end of 5G networks entirely. At our online meeting, we debated this reality, trying to find value in the importance of 5G, even though it may be obsolete in some countries by the next winter delivery of our UBC course. The entire rationale of creating the Movable Feast was to design a digital artifact for future UBC students to explore. During this meeting, Toby presented a very good idea for the project, which he titled in the UBC blog, 5G in the School of One. It was originally posted by the entrepreneur and discusses the larger possibilities of 5G as in bridging the realism of the classroom environment with technologies using virtual and augmented reality. It gave the impression that the technology may remove the need for ever having to step foot into an educational institution ever again. Our group wanted to discuss these possibilities in our Movable Feast, but the topic was clearly outside the scope of the project requirements. This was really hard since Nini, being employed with a company in China, could provide testimony of the amazing possibilities of using 5G technology in education. The idea from our group discussions were so good, I thought at the very least I could scratch the surface of them with this final A3 project for our group. Now that you are aware of the background, I'll dig deeper in how these pieces of information may indeed forecast the future of education beyond 5G. The first clue comes from an earlier article that I posted on the UBC blog called 5G Networks in Industry X. The Nokia video posted with my article was from the GTI Summit 2020. Nokia's president and CEO Rajeev Suri provided a 14-minute video on 5G networks producing the byproduct of Industry X. As it implies in mathematics, X represents a variable of unknown value, which is exactly what Suri was using to describe the anticipated results that would stem from the digital industries. Our world is on the cusp of transitioning from an industrial to an informational economy. Until 5G grids are functionally globally, it is unclear what impact it may have on jobs and society. What is known from my other post with Bill Nye, an American engineer, is that 5G is the fifth generation of mobile networks that are built on different radio frequency waves. Therefore, depending on the generation type, it will determine which frequency or frequencies the networks will use. As NASA explains, satellites also use radio waves to transmit signals to Earth, which begs the question, is XG where the networks move into outer space? NASA does not think this idea is far-fetched at all. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California Institute of Technology, designed a project for students to explore called Imagine You're an Astronaut. OTA describes a scenario of you, the student, with your family living on the International Space Station. The living arrangements are very cramped. You have no access to a physical school, and much of your learning is conducted through online communications with your teacher. OTA also suggests that you must never stop learning, since much of your time will be used to adapt to your new living environments. This suggests that experiential learning will likely play a vital role in the type of living arrangement. To get a better perspective of what this type of learning would look like, the Amazon series The Expanse may provide clues. In Season 4, Episode 7, Felicia, a young girl, is pulling out power modules from inside a spaceship. Felicia and Naomi are communicating with each other from two separate spaceships floating above the planet's atmosphere. The young girl is placed in a position of experiential learning because her ship is at risk of burning up into the planet's atmosphere. As the adult, Naomi is providing Felicia critical instructions that will save the crew of Felicia's ship. Naomi, the engineer, asks Felicia, "You ever been in the guts of a spaceship before?" Felicia replies, "Not a working one," and then explains her previous traditional school experience with the task. She explains, "There was an old decommissioned freighter on Ganymede dock I went onto on a school field trip. I thought I'd be doing stuff like this in university sims, not for real in orbit." Naomi reassures her, "Trust me, this is a better education than any university could give you." Now, concerning how realistic this scenario may be, UC Berkeley's astrophysicist Alex Filippenko critiqued the accuracy of the sci-fi series The Expanse. As he explains, The Expanse, instead of spaceman traveling faster than the speed of light without dying thanks to an inertial damper, travel across the solar system is achieved through continual acceleration, strategic changes in direction, and an injected mitigating agent known as the juice. Spaceships are built like skyscrapers with perpendicular acceleration generating the force necessary to create gravity within. The entire series is confined in our solar system, and communications are not instantaneous between planets. In other words, the idea of experiential learning in space is very likely viable. With this new classroom environment, it also brings new ideas to the definition of mobile learning. Keep in mind, these thoughts are only from my observations, since vast amounts of human society are not currently living in space. So first, a handheld mobile device for communicating and data collecting is one method of being at any time and any place. Second, the spacesuits one wears are mobile and able to communicate with the spaceship and other astronauts at any time and any place. And third, the ship is also a mobile vessel that can communicate and transmit data at any time and any place across the stars and to habitable planets. Due to this perspective, I feel highly optimistic that the future of mobile 5G technology will eventually transcend to the stars. When that day will come, I do not know. However, it is somewhere at XG.